When I was contesting for the leadership of my country, many people said to me that you can't win because you're a woman. And I just couldn't understand why my gender should be chosen against me. And when I was campaigning for Prime Minister, I remember the religious parties said that any man who voted for me would be committing a very big sin and his marriage would be null and void in the eyes of God. And I couldn't believe that what is there about a woman that can so excite passion and hatred to the extent that people would actually say that your marriage will be null and void in the eyes of God and it's the biggest sin. And then when I was elected Prime Minister in my first term, I found that it had stirred a debate in the whole Muslim world, and there were religious scholars from far and wide, some giving edicts against me, saying I had usurped a man's place in the world. And then there were others who were giving edicts in my favor and saying, no, Islam permitted a woman to be chief executive. I believe that female leaders bring a different dimension to politics. Women bear the children, women traditionally look after the children. So women are concerned about the education their children will get. They're concerned about the health facilities, they're concerned about employment. So I think that the dimension that a woman brings is very different, and I see the rise of women politicians as essential to the moderation of society. I do not believe that any true Muslim will make an attack on me, because Islam forbids attacks on women. And Muslims know that if they attack a woman, they will burn in hell. So I don't believe that any true Muslim will make an attack on me. And secondly, Islam forbids suicide bombings. So I don't believe that any true Muslim would do that. And if there are any who have been misled, I would hope that their mothers and their parents would reach out to them and tell them that the way to bring change is not through violence. The way to bring change is not through death and destruction. I feel very, very emotional coming back to my country. I dreamt of this day for so many months and years. I counted the hours, I counted the minutes and the seconds just to see this land, to see the grass, to see the sky. And I feel so emotionally overwhelmed. I came down the stairs and the airline trade union was there to welcome me. And they waved their hands and I was just overwhelmed. And I hope that I can live up to the great expectations which people here have. And I feel so proud of the people of Pakistan. I feel so very proud of them.
मैं जा रही हूँ। मेरी एक बात सुनो। ये औरतें आप लोग, औरतें आप लोग, ये लानती औरतें।
And she was not to be deterred by any military dictator. I think that there was a certain sort of personality that she sort of, that she became under military rule, and under democracy she had a different sort of attitude. She wanted to improve democracy, but with the generals she was ferocious. So I can tell you this, that she was never cowed down by either Ziaul Haq or Musharraf. And that's what made Asma so great.
बाबा जी हौसला करो हाँ चुप करो अब बस रहने दो चलो बेटा तुम शुरू करो
बोल रही है ना बस वो बोल रही है ना कुछ आपकी मेहरबानी
Jail and under martial law, and she filed a petition and she won. And that led to the process for the restoration of democracy in Pakistan. So I really see her as that. History will remember her for that in the context of Pakistan. Internationally, of course, she is an icon of international human rights.
Violence against women has gone up. देखें एक मुल्क के अंदर कोई फास्ट ट्रैक औरतों के लिए अलहदा नहीं होगा कि अगर पूरे मुल्क के लॉ एंड ऑर्डर इज in crumbling, and if there is no justice for everyone, believe me, women are not going to get it. And I recall many years ago when first time I went to prison and I came out, my daughter, who was very young at that time, was very upset that I had gone to jail and said to me, why do you do this? Why do you continuously keep going to police stations and jails? I can assure you that if you didn't do it, women's rights would come. They will come without you. With you there, they may come only an hour earlier. So why do you have to leave us? But I think we are all fighting for that hour earlier. Human rights, it's not a job. It's a conviction. I've used the law as an instrument and I've used the courts, but I've been on the streets as well. I've been in protest marches, I've been to prison, I've been in the house arrest. So for each issue and for each incident, there has to be a thought-out strategy. Justice is a rare commodity in our part of the world. Very rare. But sometimes even shouting for justice gives you some satisfaction that you're being heard. And you must be heard. You knock, and you knock, and you knock, and you knock, and you knock. And one day they are going to hear.